Talk, our theater camp review, guys. Let's get right to it. Oh, what up? What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I am your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat lady Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. If you have not already, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button to get notified for movie reviews in this case, or trailer reactions, and also TV reviews every now and then that we get to do. But, you know, this movie here is a real treat. It's a real treat on comedy and everything. And, you know, this film, I gotta say, it surprised me. It surprised me on so many different levels of comedy that I never thought I could experience current comedy, right? Because comedy has become such... I mean, put comments down below, guys, because this is point of opinion here. Is it just me, or has comedy become of just like... including stand-up comedy, it's really becoming, or has, or is, in my opinion, it is already, such a topic to where it's so sensitive on certain levels of people that it really hits people different ways now. More so than it did, 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about it all the time. Like, we watch an older movie, and I'm saying older, like it was made in the early 2000s. And we say, wow, you can't make that movie again.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're right. I feel like, we're just we're reading into things a little bit too much. It comes, especially when it comes to jokes. I mean, I feel like comedians, like you say, in stand-up, most of the job is to make fun of everybody. And
yeah, of course.
I feel like, I have my opinions on that. I think it's becoming a little bit too scrutinizing about it. But I always enjoy comedies. I know you're very particular about comedy.
I'm very picky.
And I think it also depends too. There's a lot of different kinds of humor in comedy. I know there's raunchy comedy. There's like nerdy comedy. Mm-hmm. There's just so many different kinds, over the top. Yeah. Dry humor. There's just so many things, and everyone's to each their own. So I was really curious to go into this film because it's all about theater camp, right? It's really about these kids in this almost like a summer camp specifically focused on theater and performing arts. Yeah. And it looked really funny, almost like dry humor funny from the trailer. Yeah. Which I was really enjoyed because I was in choir, I wasn't in theater. Yeah. But just to see the kids perform, it was so cool. On the screen, that's what they're going to this camp for. And it had Ben Platt. That's the one thing that kind of drew me into this, was that knowing he was going to hear. I know he's funny. He's done a lot of things like Pitch Perfect,
Tony Award winner Ben Platt. By the way.
Which he won, I think, for Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen, which was not a really high critic.
The movie.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I agree with you. I enjoyed this film so much. I think not just the adults that were casted were great. The kids were so funny. All the kids were hilarious, and I loved this so much.
There's so many different moments in here that you're just what? Theater kids and all this. And I never was a theater kid, by the way. I was more so the scene kind of wanted to be scene emo kind of dude. It was definitely one of those things to where it was very surprising, because every time I think of camp, you automatically assume band camp, right? I mean, essentially that's what it was. That was very famous for. But theater camp, this is something very different, something very almost on the journey to, I would say, to Juilliard and all that, all that artistic films, acting school and everything. So, I was very surprised. The comedy in here is so damn witty. It's so damn characteristic on each levels. On each character makes fun of their own. It's so cool. The reason why I really enjoy this movie, and I think moviegoers will enjoy this film, guys, is the fact that not only do they make jokes about each other in the movie, which I thought is really, really good, because it's the chemistry's there 110%. Ben Platt is hilarious in here. I mean, he is fantastic in here. Of course, the one and only one of the directors, Molly. This is actually directed by Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman. And Molly Gordon, God, she plays a very different. She plays Rebecca Diane, and she plays a different kind of role here that I was just holy smokes. It's trippy on so many levels. I'm loving it. I'm digging it. The comedy here is just fantastic. I enjoyed this movie so much. I was laughing, giggling. I mean, even more so, Troy, which is played by Jimmy Tardo. He actually, I've seen him in a few stuff. We've seen him every now and then in a few movies here and there. But the one I can think of is 22 Jump Street. But he is fantastic in this movie. He plays the son that's just like very not knowing anything.
He inherited this like failing on the brink of foreclosure camp, and he is just so funny because he's so bad with money.
It's so damn witty. It's so damn good. I love it, man. It's the comedy in here is just so many. It hits on so many levels because if you're not laughing at one joke, you're gonna be laughing at the next one after that. And that's the thing too. The comedy, I think it's well written because it goes with the story. It really does, intuitive with the story more so. And even I love so many Ben Platt moments in this film. More so was that, you know, they were the kids. Oh my God, let's give props to the kids because these kids that attended this theater camp, they did a fantastic job.
Talented.
Yeah, they did.
I always say one of my favorites was this guy. He was his audition, and I think they interrupt like the last song. He's like, "You're not gonna interrupt my finish."
Oh my God. Yeah. His name was Luke Islam. Oh my God.
So, he was great. Don't get me wrong. He's talented.
He's actually from season 14 of America's Got Talent.
That's interesting.
He was hilarious.
He was so funny.
So this ain't gonna run my number. Like I guarantee you guys are gonna enjoy this movie. I'm just rethinking of those special moments here, and this will actually start premiering here at Regal Theaters, guys. And if you are in San Antonio or in Texas, it will start premiering in Texas beginning of this week of what week are we in? Of July 3rd to the 4th. So actually, it should have been already premiering at the Alamo Drafthouse last weekend, but yeah, we're a little late on this review. But so many special giddy moments, giggling moments here. I love this one. This movie's so great.
I also liked too. We wasn't just like the plot of like this theater camp that exists, right? There was also like sub storylines of all the characters, right?
Yeah.
Like I like that. I like seeing everyone's kind of in a sense story, if you will. My favorite story that was told was the stagehand. I forgot his name. I apologize. The actor's name slipped in my mind, but he was
Glenn.
Yeah, he was so great. He was like a third generation stagehand.
Yeah,
all behind the scenes work was like all he grew up knowing to do. But he was really talented.
His name is actually sorry to interrupt you. His name is actually Noah Galvin.
Yes,
he was born in 1994.
Oh gosh!
Dang, so he's younger than us.
We're so old.
Wow. He was fantastic.
He was fantastic. I liked his story.
Oh man,
I liked his story. So you get a more depth of these characters in this movie, and I really liked it. It had a lot of different stories to tell. It was so funny. It was so entertaining. Definitely. It was great. I think a lot of people are going to relate to this because a lot of people went to. They were theater kids. They did performing arts, or you knew somebody who did it in school or who went to school for that. So I think it's going to hit home with a lot of people. Yeah.
No, definitely here. He's actually he's played George in Booksmart. So he knows he's coming already from that raunchy humor and everything, but more so I give props huge for writers. Noah Galvin actually wrote it.
Yes,
he did write it along with Molly Gordon, Nick Lieberman, and Ben Platt. These four individuals, I gotta say, they wrote this film, and I could see why. For one, for two, I could see how, like, oh my God, like how amazing this movie was because how well they do it. It's just incredible because I almost feel like they take their personal. The personal lives accountable into this because they bring out the personal lives into this film, and I love that because you see that more so. You can tell it's passionate.
They're very passionate about
performing. It's so heartwarming. This film has so much heart in it. You're gonna be cheering, you're gonna be laughing, you're gonna be giggling, you're gonna be like, oh my God, because there's so many oh my God moments in here that are just unbelievable. You're just like, wow, did that really just happen?
Yeah. And it's very, very funny. I think it's going to be a great film for a lot of people to enjoy. You don't have to even be performing arts, just I
don't think you have to. You don't have to even
to get it. Like you said, like I think it's just about personal growth. There's a lot of messages that you can take away from this film. I think it was very well presented too. Well written, directed, presented, casted great.
Yeah, this definitely gets me going on so many levels because I want to see more Ben Platt. I want to see more.
I've loved Ben Platt since like Pitch Perfect 1.
See, that's the thing too. But he played a supporting role in Pitch Perfect. So I want to see him do more leads if he can.
I know he did the Dear Evan Hansen, and I know it wasn't the best film, but also I've heard that the stage of that where he got the Tony was really good.
With the Dear Evan Hansen thing, I really thought he was just too old to play the character, but that's just my take there.
Oh, but he's so talented.
He is, but I just thought he was just too old to play that character already.
Sure.
I think
I think he does great performing. He's an amazing, talented performer. Did that play translate into the film as good as it should? Debatable. Yeah. But I do agree with you. I want to see him in more roles. I want to see a lot of these casts in more roles. Yeah. I think they did so great.
Yeah, Molly Gordon. I can't wait to see what more she could direct in here because I am all for it now. If going into this is her first feature film. I'm truly excited to see where her career goes from here, and I'm for women directors. We need more women directors. We do, and this shows it. And I hope she gets to do more comedy. I really hope so because she knows comedy. Comedy is her strong suit, and I was laughing my whole time. And this is coming from a guy who is very picky. But rating 1 out of 10, 10 be the highest. Angela, when you give this rating.
8.5.
8.5. Okay.
Because this film was so great. I enjoyed every minute of it. I can't wait to see it again.
Definitely.
I think everything about it was well rounded and done very well, and I can't say enough good things about it.
The humor in here was spectacular. I loved it. It's just a funny montage to the whole camp essence here, and I love that but every time I think of theater camp, I'm like, I go back to the American Pie, like, that day at band camp, that's band camp, right?
It's band camp.
Yeah,
there's so many camp. There's so many camp.
At first, I knew the title was theater camp, but I don't know why. I'm just thinking like, okay, American Pie, whatever.
Band camp, band camp,
which
is different.
Totally different animal. Totally different group of kids because these kids were hilarious. Everyone was giggly. I loved it. It was definitely there's definitely a group of kids like that in every high school that's just hilarious and just it's great. I love this movie. Rating up 1 out of 10, tell me the highest. I'm gonna go with you 8.5 as well, guys. I enjoyed this film. I enjoyed it. It was funny. It was kept me going, kept me laughing on so many different levels, which is very hard because I'm very picky. So knowing that it goes into the story, goes into the arc, and not just throwing us with those like 1 cent question or 1 cent comedies, of which I hate. So yeah, definitely guys, check out this movie at a theater near you if you have not already. Be sure to check that out. And yes, this is definitely the film that we deserve. We're giving it above average rating. And of course, we do recommend this movie, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. We recommend this film at a theater near you once again. And yeah, have a good one, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can follow Ryan680.
I'm Angela, Ange.
And the question is for you guys. What did you think of this film? Put in comments down below, guys. Did you think this film was funny? Did you think it was not funny? You think, guys, you guys are crazy. It's not good at all. Put comments down below because I guarantee you you're going to be laughing. You are. I guarantee
it. At some point
of the level.
Like I said, some of the jokes are so surprising. I just couldn't help but chuckle out loud.
And it's random too. That's why it's just like, wait, what? What did they just say? It makes you almost want to rewind, but you can't because you watch it. But yeah, it definitely gets you. It gets you laughing for sure. It does. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for making us a part of your day once again, and have a good one, guys. Stay safe, Tatro. Peace.